Sodu and Pam?
New from overnight, a witness helps police nab a man accused of breaking into a Dayton gas station.
It happened at the Shell gas station on Main Street near the University of Dayton. Now that's where we find Jordan Burgess live this morning with this morning's top story that you are only seeing on 2.
Well, right now the cleanup continues out here at this Shell station. Take a look at the broken glass in front of that door there. Now, we've learned from police that the name of the suspect that they arrested is Rodney Giddings. Authorities also tell us that this is the second time this gas station has been broken into in the last few weeks, but authorities aren't sure at this point whether Giddings is behind both break-ins. Now, Dayton police officers arrested Giddings a few hours ago. He tried to hide from our cameras, but he couldn't hide from authorities. A University of Dayton officer actually caught Giddings behind the Shell gas station on Main Street, thanks in part to a passerby. A man on his way home from work says he saw somebody shattering the glass door of that gas station, so he called police. A short time later, officers said they found a trail of evidence leading to Giddings. Police tell us they recovered cigarettes and alcohol. Afterwards, we talked to the man who helped crack this case.
But if perhaps more people did call things in, and perhaps the comments that you sometimes hear about, is downtown safe and the crime rate, perhaps those comments wouldn't be as common, and people would feel better about the city.
And at this hour, police tell us Giddings is being held for breaking and entering and possession of fake drugs. Reporting live, Jordan Burgess, 2 News on your side.
All right, Jordan, we'll check back with you in a little while. It is 5:33 now on this Monday, and happening now, a search for a gunman who shot and killed a man in front of a Dayton apartment complex.
And we first broke this story yesterday on WDTN.com. Police say 2 men got into an argument in front of the Bancroft Apartments when shots were fired, hitting the victim, a man in his 20s, multiple times. He later died at the hospital. Now, witnesses are stepping forward to tell police what they know, a welcome change for investigators.
We don't always have cooperative witnesses in a lot of our shooting investigations. So in this case, it appears that a lot of people in this neighborhood know who the victim is, and because they are familiar with the victim and they are acquainted with the victim, they're trying to help us as much as possible with this shooting.
Police described their suspect as a black male, about 200 pounds, 5'5", wearing shorts and no shirt. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers at 222-STOP.
Another homicide now. Investigation is underway in the Harrison Township area. Deputies were called to the 2000 block of Republic Drive over the weekend. Reports of a car crashing into a vacant building. When crews arrived, they found the body of 54-year-old Robin Etherington of Troy in the car with a gunshot wound. Deputies say Etherington was shot before the crash. Again, please call Crime Stoppers at 222-STOP if you can help find this gunman.
A motorcycle rider is recovering this morning after getting hit by a truck in Butler Township. It happened at Little York Road and Silver Lane yesterday. Police say the motorcycle lost control after the gray car crossed the center line and was then hit by a pickup truck that couldn't avoid him. Police say there is a lesson to be taken away from this accident.
Everybody should realize that it's summertime and try to be extra careful driving normally, but be aware that there are motorcycles out on the road and they are less visible.
Now, the rider was taken to Miami Valley Hospital with a leg injury. He was wearing a helmet. Police say the driver of the gray car will be cited for crossing the center line.
5:36 now, and a 3-car crash leaves 3 people injured this morning. Troopers say that a Jeep Liberty on Lyons Road in Miami Township hit a Mercury Sable, pushing it into a pickup truck. Now, all the injuries here are minor, and the drivers are expected to be okay. The northbound lanes of 741 were closed while the wreckage was cleared away, and those areas are now reopened.
A driver is facing charges this morning after officers say he smashed into a van full of children, forcing the van into a home. People came running from all directions moments after the crash at Anna and Hoover in Dayton on Saturday. Police say the driver of the Durango, 23-year-old Dennis Cochran, ran the stop sign on Hoover, smashing into the van. He flipped his Durango, smashing it into a tree. Cochran then jumped out of the car and tried to run before being captured by police. Meanwhile, that van took out Catherine Price's porch and hit her neighbor's home.
It's bad because of the children. You know, I feel sorry for the little kids because they scared to death and they, never been in nothing like this, and it's just kind of hard.
say all 6 of those people injured are expected to be okay. Meanwhile, Corcoran is charged with driving with a suspended license, resisting arrest, and felony drug possession. Tension continues this morning after protests turned deadly in Iran over the weekend.
Images of the violence are seeping out to the world on social networking sites like Twitter and Facebook. Brooke Hart has the overnight developments.
Over the weekend, street clashes in Iran reached a fever pitch. Protesters threw rocks at police. And gunfire could be heard on cell phone video beaming Iran's violence from the streets. This 16-year-old girl died shortly after these pictures were taken. Iran's government today blamed the West for encouraging chaos. Republicans demanded the president say more.
He's been timid and passive more than I would like.
The regime is going to accuse us of meddling whether we do or whether we do not say anything. But if we're going to do something, we should speak out.
Aides say President Obama did tell advisors his concern over, quote, violence and unjust action against Iranian citizens, his toughest statement yet. Democrats defended his restraint.
The worst thing that we could do at this moment for these reformers, these protesters, these courageous people in Tehran is allow the government there to claim that this is a U.S.-led opposition.
Iranian Americans took to the streets in New York, in Los Angeles, and in Kansas City, showing solidarity with Iranians who claim Mahmoud Ahmadinejad rigged his own re-election. Among the backers of opposition leader Mir Hossein Mousavi, this daughter of Iran's former president Rafsanjani. She and 4 other family members were arrested. Rafsanjani is said to be pressing Iran's clerics to side with the demonstrators. President Ahmadinejad courted mullahs publicly, telling them the election proved his popular support. Late last night, this development, Iran's important Guardian Council admitted that more ballots were cast than there are eligible voters. That is bound to fuel more protests and likely pressure on President Obama to take a stronger stand. In Washington, Brooke Hart, 2 News on your side.
All right, thank you, Brooke. Well, right now it is 5:39.
Let's take a live look outside at traffic at 75 and Route 4. Coming up, meteorologist Jamie Jarosik has your live Doppler 2X forecast.
And also ahead, we are on your side with an easy way to boost your credit score and get back to business.